AGORACOM Talks, your weekly go-to source for the best small-cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007. And we are jumping right into the news flow today. We're really focusing on, material results, the kind that make you lean in.
Exactly. Proof points, not just chatter. In a market filled with noise, these tangible results, well, they cut through. For you, the listener, this is where potential starts looking like real execution. Gives you something solid to start digging deeper.
Right. Finding that substance behind the headline. And we've got quite a mix today. Advanced materials, connectivity, ad tech, even climate risk.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get into it.
First one up, a really significant validation, I think, in advanced materials. It's PyroGenesis, PYR headline. PyroGenesis secures Boeing supplier status, marking major milestone in titanium powder innovation.
Okay.
And the key result, they are officially an approved supplier for Boeing for their Ti-64 coarse metal powder.
Yeah, and this is big. I mean, it's not just any list, it's Boeing's. Their standards, especially for aerospace, for additive manufacturing, they're incredibly high.
Like 3D printing critical parts.
Exactly. So getting this approval, it validates the quality, the consistency of PyroGenesis's powder. We're talking the 53 to 150 micron size here. It's a formal ticket into a very demanding supply chain. And it fits right into that bigger picture of securing critical advanced materials globally.
Huge stuff for them. Okay, let's switch tracks a bit. From materials validation to financial momentum, NuRAN Wireless. That's the one. NUR headline. NuRAN Wireless posts strong Q1 growth, signals turning point with positive operating cash flow. And these Q1 numbers, ending March 31st, they are pretty eye-popping. Revenue, $2.2 million. That's up 285% year over year.
Wow, 285%.
Yeah. And gross profit, get this, $1.9 million. That's a 4,073% increase.
Okay, that's massive, 4,000%.
Right. And they hit positive non-GAAP EBITDA, about $450,000.
So here's where it gets really interesting, I think. That huge leap in gross profit plus hitting positive EBITDA.
Which is that key operational profit measure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Strongly suggests their network as a service model, their NOS model, is really starting to scale properly, especially in those underserved markets they target. It points to generating, stable, high-margin recurring revenue and flipping to positive operating cash flow. That's a critical signal. Financial health improving. Sustainability. Yeah,
the CEO mentioned this quarter really shows the power of that NOS model.
Makes sense.
Okay, another company showing a significant financial turnaround, Kiddoz Inc., symbol KDOZ.
Kiddoz, right? Ad tech space.
Yep. Headline, Kiddoz Inc. boasts strong first quarter. Revenue surges and profit returns in 2025. Q1 revenue, $2.7 million. That's up 54% from last year. But the big story, like you said, the bottom line. Net income came in at just over $60,000. Compare that to a loss of over $700K same time last year.
That's quite the swing.
Huge swing. Plus, positive free cash flow, nearly $500,000, and their cash position looks solid, $3.27 million.
So this really speaks to execution, doesn't it? They're not just growing the top line, the revenue, they're doing it profitably now.
Right. Disciplined costs, maybe?
Seems like it. And that positive free cash flow, the actual cash the business generates after expenses and investments.
Right.
That's a really strong sign of financial discipline. It's just their niche, the privacy-sourced kids and family market, is working efficiently for them. And it gives them flexibility, to fund growth without maybe needing outside cash as much.
Good point. Okay, changing gears again. Back to material science. HPQ silicon. Symbol HPQ.
HPQ, okay. Fumed silica focus.
That's it. Headline, HPQ silicon advances toward commercialization as global manufacturer requests early fumed silica samples. The key result, a major global manufacturer in this space asked for early samples from HPQ's pilot line.
And what's fascinating here is the timing. They asked for these samples months ahead of schedule, ahead of HPQ's own plan.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it signals, strong market interest, validation from a big established player. They clearly see something compelling in HPQ's tech.
Which is that single-step process, right? Disruptive compared to traditional methods.
Exactly. Fumed silica is used everywhere. Silicones, coatings, even pharma. HPQ is trying to make it simpler, cheaper. Getting samples evaluated early by a leader, as their CEO pointed out, gives them incredible access to decades of manufacturing know-how. It could really speed up their path to commercial scale.
Definitely one to watch then. Okay, last one. Tackling a pretty critical global challenge. AI6 solutions. AISX.
Climate risk. specifically wildfires.
Correct. Headline, AI6 Solutions launches new platform to tackle rising wildfire risk across critical industries. And the result is tangible, the launch of their revamped online platform, AI6.ca. It gives direct access to their risk assessment tools.
Right, and connecting this to the bigger picture. Wildfire risk isn't just an environmental issue anymore. It's deeply strategic.
For insurance, government, infrastructure.
All of them. Finance, natural resources too. So, by making their climate risk intelligence accessible, actionable, through this platform, they're positioning themselves right where the demand is growing. Professionals need this kind of high-resolution, transparent data to plan, to mitigate. It's about making that complex climate intelligence useful.
That makes a lot of sense. Wow. Okay, one more. Let's talk precious metals. ES Gold Corp, ESAU, gold and silver production nears as ES Gold launches final testing phase at Montauban project.
ES Gold, ESAU. They're at a really critical point with their Montauban project in Quebec. They've started final testing using gravity concentration.
Gravity concentration, how's that different?
It's different because it potentially avoids using chemicals like cyanide. These tests aim to create a poor-grade gold and silver concentrate, capturing, they hope, over 50% of the metals, but in a much smaller amount of material.
So cleaner and maybe faster.
That seems to be the goal. It could allow them to skip traditional chemical processing. CEO Paul Mistantuano called it a game-changing opportunity. Could mean faster cash flow, a cleaner process, keeps them on track for their 2025 production target.
That's quite a range we covered today.
It really is.
From, advanced materials getting that key Boeing nod, disruptive tech catching early interest.
The company's showing really impressive financial turnarounds, positive cash flow.
And others tackling major global risks like climate change head on.
And I think for you, listening, these specific results we talked about, the Boeing validation for PYR, the massive growth and positive EBITDA for NU, KDOZ flipping to profit with strong cash flow, that early sample request for HPQ, the platform launch for AISX. These aren't just news items, they are concrete points of progress. Real data points you can use as a launch pad for your own deeper research into these companies or even these sectors.
Absolutely. So maybe a final thought to leave you with as you do that research. In this really complex world with all these challenges, how much untapped value is hiding in plain sight? In small cap companies quietly proving their models, hitting these milestones, and tackling huge problems right under the radar.
Something to definitely consider.